Dynamat. Okay, so a lot of these trends come back after a while because a lot of people who know better know not to buy that kind of shit. And then the young kids are like, oh, I heard about Dynamat. And then they spend an arm and a leg doing bullshit that they don't need to do. So, if you want Dynamat, I have unbacked damping pads, 100-foot roll, or not 100-foot, 100-pound rolls that we got. That's a ton of shit right there. $50 each. Come and get it. Or if you want me to ship a pallet, I'll ship a pallet. That's fine. So I wrote a blog, gosh, probably 2013, that pissed off Ant over at Realm of Excursion, DIMY, Ant, the bodybuilder. I forget what his name is, Anthony something or whatever. It was funny. I didn't know that he owned the forum, and I didn't know he owned SecondSkin. Is it SecondSkin? Yeah, SecondSkin. And he's a local here, and I didn't know. And I posted a whole blog about how it's all the same dumb bullshit. Dynamat, damping mat, Vibraflex, boom mat, all the names of them. What got me was what really sort of I guess pissed me off was there's this guy, I don't remember his name, but he's just a loudmouth blowhard out of Florida, I think. I'll put some links in the description to some of his videos, but he was like the epitome of the peak of Anthony's reign on the Dynamat SecondSkin I don't know, kingdom. I don't know what he calls it. So, but I wrote a blog about it, and I'll put a link in the description as well. And he really got upset about it, and he should have, because he's a liar and a piece of garbage. And all I did was expose him and every other company that sells you Dynamat. You don't need Dynamat, okay? That's the first thing. All Dynamat does is it lowers the frequency that it rattles at to one that you don't mind. That's it. It doesn't strengthen it. There was a product on the market that was it was done through a third-party vendor that ended up partnering with Streetwires, I think for a minute, PPI, Rockford, I think I have a bottle of it left. But the original was Lightning Audio, and when I worked at Lightning Audio, that's what it was. So, and there was two versions, which is one, I still have it, there it is, Noise Killer. So, and these are 20 years old, but they still seem like they're good, so I still want to try it. But really what it is the Noise Killer Yellow was used to laminate 2 pieces of MDF. Now, does that make it stronger? No. Does it make it more sonically dead? Yes. So it's really good for, like, say, use in home theater cabinets where where listening is crucial. Again, it doesn't strengthen the enclosure. All it does is keep any vibration from transferring through the MDF and to the outside of the cabinet, and vice versa. So when you knock on it, it's like a rock. You're knocking on a rock. It's fucking cool, and it's a good marketing thing. It's not effective as far as affecting the sound, but it's a good marketing thing. And you can do the same thing though, using just more layers of MDF, which is what's called mass loading. And you can do the same thing in your interior too for home theater. So I went over and bought a EPX2 with DSP one time for only $250. Fucking killer deal. I flipped it in like 3 days. And that was from one of the big wigs at Rockford, and I got to see his home theater suite. And he had just used 3 layers of sheetrock, of gypsum, to make his listening room, his home theater room, very quiet, and also so he didn't bother his neighbors, because he lived in a nice neighborhood with an HOA and all that shit. So when you use Dynamat, all you're doing is lowering the resonant frequency to, again, one that's less annoying. The panel that you're deadening still rattles, so you're not gaining decibels like you think you are. Now, what Dynamat's claim is that if you lower the noise floor, meaning you don't hear the outside noise as much, you can double the power of your input, which is, again, it's only 3 dB. So, and let's say that's true. All you're doing is just making your car quieter. It's not making it any more, SPLE or strong or anything like that. You're not doing any of that. And what's funny is most people's cars are just old and shitty, and they just have, you need to replace the neoprene gaskets in the doors. That's it. And all of a sudden it'll be quiet again. Now there is some fact to the deadening in cars as far as road noise goes, and I found that out when I bought my hybrid. So one of the things that Toyota did in order to shave weight and boost the fuel economy was they didn't use the deadening that they do in the panels, the floor pans, and some of the other panels, because it adds mass, right? Which is more weight, which is less fuel efficient. So, but in the Lexus, that's what they're famous for. And they used to have this commercial where they'd have people drumming on a panel that they had put, there's a metal panel, and then they have a deadener, and then they have another panel. And that sandwich ends up being very effective as far as keeping road noise out and absorbing all that vibration so that you have a quiet ride. And that's all car companies do to deaden things. In fact, they have a big pump. They come in and just jizz it around. That's all that black tar stuff. When you go to pull out all your interior to add Dynamat, that's all they did. They already put Dynamat on it. It's just in liquid form. And typically it's asphalt based because the asphalt base is it's a waste product from the oil industry. So it's super cheap. And that's the same shit they make plastic with and all that stuff. They always have a surplus of that, and it's really super cheap. One of the things that I learned in Speaker Builder magazine was that you could make your own using acrylic caulking that has been added with silicone. And then what you can do is you can augment it with more silicone caulking, 100% silicone. And then what you do is just add rocks to it, or fishing weights, lead or something heavy. And then what I would do is this is back when I was, trying to be an audiophile, and I believed all that bullshit. And then what you do is you smear it on whatever panel you want dead, and that works the same as for Dynamat. It also works for the insides of enclosures if you're doing it for home. It's not so effective for woofers, but for mids, it's actually really effective. And things like that. So again, experiment. And I'll post a link to the description in the description to my blog from 2013 or whenever I wrote it, that showed that it's all bullshit and it's fake. But back to that guy. Oh my God, I can't forget, because he's like a bald guy with a weird mustache, and he's like Buzz. That's his name, Buzz. And he's like super aggressive. And the epitome of bullshit that Ant was selling was he bought a 10-cent tile, like a bathroom tile, like it was 4x4, and you would add the adhesive, which is really just like contact cement, like liquid nails, on the back of the tile, and then you would stick it on your door panel, and that would no more rolling, no more heat gun, no more any of that bullshit, and it would work, right? Because all you're doing is adding mass to the panel, right? And so it doesn't keep the panel from vibrating. It just lowers the resonant frequency. It lowers the frequency of its resonance so that it's not so annoying. So it's not making a rattle noise. It's still rattling, but like at 20 hertz or something that you can't hear or something that you don't mind. So when I saw that really pissed me off, and I was like, these guys need to be fucking exposed for the bullshit they are. And then of course he pulled the video down. Buzz did, because they were just buying bathroom tiles from a local tile distributor, and then I think they were selling the whole thing for like $50 shipped, right? And that goes back to back in they used to put like ads in the back of like Popular Mechanics, back there with that ad for the genuine beret, French beret. In the back of Popular Mechanics, it was a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. It was a government portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and it was like $5. And so you send your $5 in, and then what do they send you? They send you a penny. See? That's a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Sure is. So there's lots of scammers out there. Be aware of them. Use your common sense. Look at the market. See what the market's doing. And now sometimes you'll find really good deals, like what you're seeing with right now, Boss Group is moving a lot of the stuff under the Gravity brand, and I've seen a lot of really good subs that are, you know, similar to other stuff. I think they're using the same build house that they used for the Planet Audio Big Bang, because the gap seems to be the same, which is kind of narrow. And it's also the same one that here Rabati uses for the Majestic subs that I've been rebadging and rebuilding. But yeah, under the Gravity brand, that's another brand under the Boss Group. Again, engineer Tony DeMore doesn't mind taking their money, so you shouldn't mind buying their products. So whether it's Boss, SSL, Planet Audio, Gravity, or any of the 20 other brands that they sell the same stuff under. So, but look at Gravity and some other brands, and of course Recoil. So that's what's one of the great things that I don't mind branding myself to, or you know, associating myself with, because Larry is there for the volume. That's what he really wants to do, and he really wants to retire. And so the idea is to expose people to the brand, get you hooked to the brand, and then he raises prices. So take advantage of this time in the market where it's very, very cheap and you're getting a very good deal. Now, I am still talking to him and trying to talk him into making the product more rebadge friendly for you guys, so that way you can use it as resellers. Because those components, those exact same components, go for like $100 to $150 at Best Buy. Plus, you know, people are paying 10% tax on top of that. And that money could be yours. And so I'd rather see it go to you than fucking Best Buy. And you can do the same thing, which is that you just take a pair of speakers, you either debadge them or rebadge them to something else, and then you sell them, and people go, wow, your whatever, Joe's audio speaker sounds awesome. And you're like, thank you very much. Take the compliment, go with it, and then just keep doing it and repeat. And then when you run out of supplies or whatever, then you go, oh yeah, we got to go to China and that's where you talk to me, and we try to import you something that is the Blink Box, you know, like this amp. You know, this is the same amp that is used by Wolfram and Sundown. I sell it for $600 shipped with a 3-year warranty, and I include 2 0-gauge fuse holders with 2 400 amp fuses. It's a fucking monster of an amp. Does it cost whatever they charge? No. And I want to show you that you can do that, and you guys can do that at home too. Again, I'm hoping he'll change his mind about this rebranding stuff, because I really think that's the future. That way you guys can order on demand, meaning you don't have to buy 20, 30 pair of something in order to be a dealer. You can buy 1 pair, 2 pair off of Amazon, using Amazon as the distribution hub, and then you get them, and then you rebadge them, and then you're good to resell them. And then, you know, that way you can stay home and make money. Again, I want to empower you guys to stay home with your families, because if you're able to work from home, whether it be a business or not for profit or whatever it is, you should not be taxed to provide for your family. And that's one of the ways in order to, I don't want to say avoid taxes. What I want to say is not be in the realm that is taxed. Okay? Right? One of the realms that's not taxed is religion. So start your own religion and then give everything to God, right? Right? That's what Jesus said. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but what is God's, give unto God. So, but again, that's not me. That's not Bible talk. That's my inspiration from Jordan Peterson, who has brought a whole new reality to the Bible and some really, really great insight. And he's just a magical genius, and I love him and I love his work. So, but again, Dynamat is a scam. All that stuff is bullshit. Make your own if you really want it, and then you'll find out that it's a waste of time and money. Anyway, so I love you guys. Have a good weekend.